In Tunisia, weeks of increasing political unrest and deadly violence has forced the president of the country, Zain al-Abidine Ben Ali, to leave the country, putting it in a state of uncertainty. Before leaving, Ben Ali sacked his government and called early elections within 6 months. The government has also declared a national state of emergency, banning public gatherings and authorizing security forces to shoot anyone who disobeys orders. The West African Tunisia has been grappling with weeks of unrest, triggered by rising food prices, unemployment and what's perceived as rampant corruption among its officials. In the latest demonstrations, the capital Tunis witnessed another day of violent protests, with police using batons and tear gas to disperse thousands who were demanding the resignation of the country's president, Ben Ali. The protesters were furious over the news of the killing of 13 more people during clashes with police on Thursday night. The deaths came despite Ben Ali's promise to put an end to the use of live ammunition on protesters. The government says around 20 people have been killed in the clashes so far, but rights groups say the toll is more than 3 times that number. It seems the promises of creating more jobs and cutting food prices no longer satisfy protesters, who are now demanding radical reforms in the political system. After several years of relative calm, a forceful uprising has surprised many people. Some analysts believe this has not happened overnight and that there has been a feeling of smouldering resentment resulting from 23 years of dishonesty, corruption and oppression by the ruling system.
We didn't really expect that it was going to happen this quickly, but we did expect fundamental change in the government. The issues that are happening and the things that are occurring are quite historic for the region and for the Arab world as well. The only issue is that there is huge uncertainty whether or not the prescriptions for the problem that's occurring right now, like using the old minister, Mr. Mohamed Ghannouchi, if it's going to satisfy the protesters. And it's just about waiting and seeing what will happen.
Last Wednesday on your TV news analysis, I said myself it was a revolution and that have leadership on the ground in Tunisia organizing the whole thing, which people try to underestimate what's going on in Tunisia. What's happening right now, I had the news around 1 o'clock today from a group called Free Tunisia from inside Tunis, says to me there was a military coup actually happening with the command of his name Rashid Ammar, the commander of the Tunisian military ground military forces surrounding Tunis and surrounding the presidential palace himself. And they told me the president at that time, midday, he was in the French embassy hiding, trying for his safety in case he get arrested or assassinated, and the French will escort him out of Tunisia to Spain. That's the news I had myself of from the groups on the ground in Tunisia today. But at the same time, it's great news to see another Shah disappears from the picture. But here I'm worried about somebody trying to hijack and or abort the Tunisian revolution by playing tactics like yesterday when after the Ben Ali addressed on Channel 7 in Tunisia the public, and there is some of his affiliates to his political party went in demonstration like congratulate him for sacking the government and sort of thing, trying to bring another wave of demonstrations. It didn't work. The demonstrators and the revolutionary people in Tunisia right now very smart, but now the government with Ghanouchi and the military trying to take control and maybe present themselves as this they are the Salvation Front for Tunisia right now.
It is a popular uprising. It is not a coup in the normal sense. Now, if you want to say that the coup has been hijacked, the revolution has been hijacked, that is remains to be seen. And that is totally within the grasp of the Tunisian people.
Countries that can host him, like France, but that does not concern me. Actually, he should be tried for the crimes he committed against the Tunisian people. You know, the American administration is keen to have an international court against whoever killed al-Hariri and against the president of Sudan, but they are oblivious to those who are dependent on American policies and protected by American policies. They are oblivious to their crimes. But actually, Ben Ali and his associates should really be tried in a fair trial, and their corruption should be exposed to the Tunisian people and to all people in the world. Question: I just returned from Washington a few days ago, and I was reading the Washington Post and the New York Times on a daily basis, and there are nothing written about Tunisia except the last few days. What does this tell about the so-called free press of America? What does this say about American democracy? Doesn't this show to all people that American democracy and freedom of press is a farce? They didn't speak about the people who burned themselves in Tunisia at the beginning of the events, but they filled the front pages about the person who was killed in Tehran and made a big deal about it, but nothing was published in the Washington Post and New York Times, as far as I know, for several days until very recently they began to publish. So the conclusion is that the media in the United States is not free, and they are part and parcel of the American administration. Now we speak about the American administration. It shows the obvious hypocrisy of the American administration as to their slogans about freedom and democracy and so on. Freedom and democracy that the US administration and their allies in Europe talk about is freedom that serves the imperialist goals and has nothing to do with genuine freedom and genuine democracy.
Facing now with the Tunisian revolution, most of the political opposition and political leaders were imprisoned or exiled. You cannot find a proper, real, strong leadership to now take the historical moment which is happening. But now they are forming, and there is some positive signs that's going to be done. The problem, as I said, the worry of the security forces with the military, trying to salvage their interest, which is they shared with Ben Ali before, after his coup against Bourguiba, as you said. And the foreign investment, the Western multinationals who, in the Tunisian leadership, on the ground, the people leadership, to guarantee the success and to carry on and not to be cheated and not to let their revolution be cheated by security or army apparatus.
And here we have to be careful, because anger of the people in the Arab world is widespread, but anger alone does not result in a revolution. And the revolution in Tunisia is not a haphazard revolution. There is obviously a leadership, a local leadership that knows what to do. The slogans they raised and the demands they raised and the strategy they followed shows to me as an outsider that there is an organized leadership. And this is lacking in some Arabic countries. You must realize that in Tunis there is some unions that has some power compared to other Arabic countries. I suggest as a preliminary reading that countries that are there is a possibility of change similar to Tunisia is perhaps Morocco and Yemen. But I emphasize again that anger, which is widespread in most Arab countries, if not all Arab countries, does not constitute a revolution by itself. And I want to add my further comments to the previous speaker, because I agree with them. There is a local leadership, and this local leadership now is moving to a more dangerous stage. Now, the foreign forces, like in Europe and in the United States, they will try to contain the budding revolution in Tunisia. And I'm sure they are going to be careful, not only from foreign factors, but internal factors. There are opportunists. They call themselves opposition, but they are opportunists. Some of the opposition...
and not to allow the Western alliance, which they done the deal with the Tunisian, as they done it with a lot of Arabic countries, give them some economical growth and some jobs, and keep them shut and no political life. That was the formula happening in Tunisia and in a lot of Arabic countries. So, you can trade, you can do whatever you like, even mafia activities in the economy, but you're not allowed political voice or civil even voice in the society. Now the sign and the crucial point is that the success of the Tunisian revolution is a spark for the whole Arabic world, and thus there is a duty.
So they said that the popular revolution is demanding extreme demands when they asked for the dismissal of the president. I think the local leadership has to be very careful, not only from external forces, which surely will try to contain the revolution and to divert its path to fulfill the real goals, which is justice, true democracy and true freedom, and independence from the forces of the United States imperialism and its allies.